All right, welcome back to second semester. And today I'm going to go through, we're going to watch a brief video in which you should also have with you right now, or at least in a little bit, you're going to have a sheet that I'm going to ask you to fill out with regard to this video. And so we're going to review some of the syllabus items. We're going to review some of the expectations in class, and also the flipped learning approach that we're going to implement again here in the second semester, just as we did in the first semester in December. The first day I gave you the new schedules for the block schedule. On the board in my classroom, I have put up the blue day, white day schedules, what the time frames are for each period. You have that sheet, and it also has the late start Monday schedule as well. Mondays, we're going to be in person, and so those will flip. That schedule is on that sheet of paper that I gave you the other day. So be aware that Mondays will flip blue to white, and Tuesdays and Thursdays will still be blue days. Wednesdays and Fridays will still be white days. Okay? So I want to go through a couple things here, try to make this video like a 10-minute deal, but I want to make sure that we're on the same page starting out second semester, because I really think it has the potential to be a really good semester, having gone through some of the things that we went through together in first semester, remote, then in person, then remote, then in person again. Hopefully we can be in person the entire second semester. Let's start with just a review of the class expectations. You're expected to come in class, be seated, and be ready when the bell rings. However, I do realize that some of you will have to go to the restroom, and I would prefer that you go to the restroom before you come into class. And that means that I'm going to be very lenient on tardies. So I need you to try to go through in terms of going to the bathroom prior to coming in. No cell phones. Cell phones need to be put in your bag. During assessments, no Apple Watches or similar devices will be allowed. You cannot use your phone for a calculating device. There is one thing on here. It says do homework outside of class. That's sort of eliminated with our flipped learning approach. So that's really not an expectation right now, because we're going to do everything in class. You will be expected to maintain notes, keep an organized notebook, a binder of some sort, or even a folder that you keep things in an organized fashion. Class rules. When the directions for an activity are given, try to listen and try to abide by those directions the first time given. After that, it becomes a behavior issue. You're just not listening, and at some point, it's just disrespectful. Use only appropriate language and or behavior. Bring all the necessary materials that you need to class. And, if you forgot something, this really applies if you had locker access, but you don't. If you forget something, it's going to be a tardy if you have to go get it. And again, here's the cell phone thing again. No cell phones visible or in use during class. That's a school board, a policy manual deal. That's not from me. That's school-wide. And I'm not going to debate on, well, in this class, I get to do this, and that class, I get to do that. In this class, in my class, our class, this is the expectation. Cell phones in the bags. Materials needed. You need a folder or a binder or a notebook. One of those three options for math class only, that you can keep and organize your work on a daily basis. You need earbuds or some sort of device that you can plug into the computer, and you can listen to the videos during our flipped learning approach, and so it's not a distraction for other students. You need pencils, not pens, and you need your workbook, your Eureka Math workbook. Restroom use. I mentioned that just a second ago. Try to make sure you use it before class, but I realize you got a lot of people trying to use the same bathroom. I get that. Just try to do it before you come into class. Within the first 10 minutes of class starting, again, if you're settled in and you say, I got to go, I'm going to ask you, is it an emergency? If it's not an emergency, I'm going to need you to stay in class so that you get the directions for the activity and you can be productive during the class period. Same thing at the end of class. I'm less likely to let you go. If it becomes a habit, we're going to have to go another direction and try and figure something out to help you. During class, restroom breaks will be to a minimum, and they must be for emergency reasons because you need to be in class. No cell phones can be leaving with you. If you do get permission, they need to be in the bag. And again, here's the cell phone usage. I keep repeating this. They need to be in your book bags, okay? General behavior things. I've been really impressed with my time first semester here. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody's behavior and reception of what we're trying to create in our classroom. But I want to remind everybody, it starts with the mutual respect that everybody has for one another. If you want it, you want respect, you got to give respect. Treat others with respect, and a lot of good things can happen. And that comes down to personal accountability, and that's a choice you make. You're not always going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. When you're wrong, admit it, apologize, and move on. A positive culture begins with sort of the mutual respect for everyone that we've talked about throughout the semester and we'll continue to talk about. And ultimately, it produces a positive learning environment for everyone. Special note, and this is really important, don't be upset at me whenever you are being held accountable for the expectations that have been stated from the beginning. And so I want to make that very clear, because it seems that if you're getting upset for me reminding you, hey, this is the expectation on the phones or the restrooms or whatever it is, your behavior, you've got to start to maybe reevaluate that. All right. Phone, hats, hoods down, random disruptive behavior and comments. Make sure you keep those things into perspective of, hey, those are the things that that typically creep up, and you know how I'm going to handle it. So don't get mad at me when I keep you accountable on that. First semester observations. These are some of the things that I heard from students. Excuses, reasons, it doesn't really matter. You guys had a tough first semester, but everybody got through it, and I'm real proud of everybody. But these are kind of excuses we want to move away from. Things like I didn't have a compass to do my geometry homework. You were told at the beginning to get a compass. Also, I told you could borrow a compass. I didn't have a pencil. I didn't have my notebook. I didn't have my book. I don't have a computer. My computer's not charged up. Those are kind of things that I really need you to navigate towards. You're responsible for those things. You are responsible for those things. So the expectation is that you're going to minimize and reduce these reasons. And when you do that, you're going to see more success in the classroom. I've been very responsive to understanding the unique circumstances that all of you have faced through the remote learning, and I'll continue to do so. I'm effectively here to help you. And one of the ways that I'm helping you is making you accountable and trying to also continue to get all of us to understand positive classroom culture starts with respect for each other and respect for the expectations that we have here in class, class rules, all those things that go into it. Be accountable. And then finally, the flipped learning approach, just to review how it's going to look with the block schedule of 83 minutes. 83 minutes is going to fly by because we are going to have it very structured. And so the first thing you do when you come in, you're going to have a warm-up problem in your notebook. So make sure you have your loose leaf paper, your folder, your notebook ready to go. Activity 1 will be some sort of a lesson video that you have to watch. And just like we did in the first semester, you'll have some practice problems. And then eventually, near the end of the period, you're going to have a knowledge check on that. You can see that there's also going to be group work. There's going to be a second activity, more practice, more group work, and then the assessment will come near the end of the 83 minutes. And then we'll summarize and be done for the day. No written homework. And so it's really important that you can continue to understand the benefits of the flipped learning approach. You may have to watch a video for homework in preparation for the next class period, But again, that'll be on a day-to-day basis in terms of whether I'm going to just have you watch it in class or assign it for homework to be watched outside of class. Okay. Listen, that concludes today. I want to say that again, if you struggle with certain things, make sure you know my office hours are 3:10 to 3:30. I'm here to help you. I know some of you struggle with reaching out. Please reach out if you need help. We can do Google Meets. We can do it in person. But I'm really excited about second semester. And again, everything centers around a mutual respect. But also for you personally, as we said in December, figure out what your why is. It's going to push you to improve in each of the areas that you need to improve. Figure out what that why is. It was in one of the motivational videos that we watched, and you can go back and revisit those as well. All right. Here we go.